we dream of with sounds like that, and then you can have it. That's the beauty of the organ as an instrument. And you've been playing for so many years, right?
I started as a child on the piano.
Right.
I was 5 years old when I had the opportunity to play the piano, upright piano, at my grandma's house. The part I liked the best about that piano is that it had candle holders, so that fascinated me as a kid. So I thought, that's very romantic. I didn't think romantic at the time, but I thought it's cool.
Right.
You know, and I was sitting down, and what I noticed is that I really felt that I already knew how to play that.
Really?
I hadn't really had lessons, but I sat down and go, okay, this is obvious.
I can play.
The higher keys are higher, the keys on the right side are higher, left side lower. Okay, let's play a melody. So I was playing some melodies that I had heard, actually some German Christmas songs. It was Christmas time.
Right.
And then I was starting to make up stuff, improvise on the piano. And I did that for about a year, and then my parents signed me up for lessons. I had very good teachers, you know, strict German teachers,
right.
you know, that put
a lot of practicing.
Yes, but see, the thing is, my parents never had to beat me into practicing.
Right.
I just did it on my own.
That's great.
You know, that's
so
why
you loved it already.
And to be honest, I'm always a little skeptical when people say, "Oh, I wish I'd stuck with the piano, but my parents didn't support me, and my teacher wasn't nice." But you know, it really doesn't matter. If you really love it,
right?
If you really love it, you're gonna do it. And I did it just to kind of deal with stress. Come home from school, I might have been angry, and I sit down at the piano, and it's kind of stress, anger management.
Yeah, like energy.
Yes.
Put it out.
Yes.
So this one is also in A minor.
That's right. You know what? I like the key of A minor. I've noticed that. Yes.
Right.
and when I make albums, I actually think about the keys a lot.
Why is that?
Well, partially because of the sequence of
So
tracks.
you recreate, you compose track by track, and becomes like a concert by itself.
It
like
does.
like a collage.
It does. I think in terms of albums, and I've heard people say, oh, it doesn't matter anymore because of MP3, but I still think that way, which I think is the correct way of thinking. Like Schubert would write a song cycle. It's not just single songs, it's a cycle. They belong together.
Right.
Doesn't mean you can't play them on by themselves.
Individually,
but I think of them as a collection, and then within the collection I want a story, like a dream. And the keys are very important with that. Which keys do lend themselves to a good sequence.
Right.
And usually what did I do with this album? Started in A minor and ended in what is it? The relative key of C major at the very end. So I'll go from minor to major, and those keys are related.
And in a happy note.
Yeah, of course it could be the other way around.
Right.
And then I'm even thinking about the transition from the last track to the first one again, because for example on my car radio, the CD will automatically play again. I'm even thinking about that transition back.
Interesting.
And people listening to the album again.
Right, wow. And when can we see you performing live?
The very next opportunity is actually this Sunday, the 4th of December. I'm joining the choir and instrumental ensemble at First United Methodist Church of Santa Monica. This is a church I play at regularly on Sundays, 10 a.m. And by the way, that's one of the things I do. I'm a church organist. I've done that since I'm 12 years old. Right. So I do that in Santa Monica, 11th and Washington, 7:30 p.m. It's a free will donation. People can make a donation if they wish, and it's holiday music, Christmas music.
Wonderful,
you know, and in December at church we have to give people holiday music, so it's going to be very happy, joyful music that we're going to be doing. Directed by Dr. James Smith.
Yeah.
The next opportunity after that will be on December 14th, 8 p.m. It's a Wednesday at the Villa Aurora. Fantastic place in the
It's a
Pacific
wonderful
Palisades.
place.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
It's a place where German emigres or immigrants, I'm not sure what you call them, but
Right.
they had to leave Nazi Germany and they hung out in the Pacific Palisades. They probably thought, if we have to leave Germany, we might as well go to a nice place.
Right.
It's got this fantastic ocean view, and it was the great German artists like Leon Feuchtwanger, writer, Thomas Mann, fantastic writer,
Amazing.
Arnold Schoenberg, famous musician,
Isn't that
composer.
incredible? Wow.
And Charlie Chaplin was part of that crowd too. He
It's
was hanging out with these people.
Unbelievable. Wow.
So I think Charlie Chaplin, he was a heady guy. He did this comedy and some slapstick, but he was a great thinker.
Yes, of course.
And we're doing a silent movie. They recently restored their historic house organ. It's from the 20s. Think about 1927. So the villa had a house organ at the time. They got a full room
Incredible.
of pipes right next to the living room.
Yes.
And they restored that last year. And now they're promoting the instrument, and they have a series of silent movies. So we're going to do the movie The Joyless Street in its 1927 version. And I'm going to improvise a score to that movie.
And what is the date again?
That's Wednesday, December 14th at 8 p.m. at the Villa Aurora,
It's a
villaaurora.org.
wonderful place. Everything about it is great.
Yes.
And the people attending concerts and lectures there, the view and the music and everything is perfect. I love it. I love the place. The only thing, I never saw the organ. I found out recently that there is an organ there I couldn't see when I've been there.
That's right. They just got it to play again. It's a recent
Right.
thing. Like about a year ago,
Yes.
they made it play again.
And how do we find your music?
The best way probably is to go to my website. Christoph starts with a CH, ends with a PH. Bull, like Sitting Bull, the great Indian chief, B-U-L-L. Christoph Bull, one word, .com. You got a lot of info there, links. You can also just Google me and go to Amazon,
Right.
iTunes. I've got a lot of stuff on CD Baby, which is a wonderful site for independent artists. And yeah, I'm out there. I'm in the cyber world.
And the title is First and Grand,
First and Grand.
which is the corner
That-
of the hall.
That's right. It's the location of the hall, and I guess it's another Beatles influence thing, because I was racking my brain. What do I call this? You know? And
Abbey Road.
that's right. You got it. I was thinking, what are some of my favorite albums? Abbey Road, named after the location of the studio.
Right,
Disney Hall,
right.
where is it? Grand Avenue. First and Grand. Perfect.
It sounds great.
And it's also the premiere album of the organ.
Yes.
So it's the first whole album that was made of the
Dedicated,
organs.
yes.
So I thought First and Grand sounds good to me.
Christoph Bull, thank you so much for stopping by, and we'll see you there at Villa Aurora.
Yes, thank you for having me, Sergio. It's always good to be with you at KPFK.
Thank you. You are listening to the Global Village on KPFK Los Angeles.